You know that feeling, that kind of heartbreak so deep it feels like all the color has just been sucked out of the world? Well, today we're going to dive right into that feeling by unpacking a really powerful Bengali poem. We're going to trace the shadows of this broken heart all the way from that first gut punch to the quiet final acceptance of a scar you know will last a lifetime. So let's get into it. Wow. The poem just kicks off with this single devastating line. It translates to, I gave you all the colors, you left only darkness. I mean, right away, you feel that brutal contrast, don't you? This isn't just about being sad. No, it's about a total void, right? The complete absence of light, of life. This one line, it sets the entire stage for the emotional roller coaster we're about to go on. So that opening line, it really frames the whole relationship almost like a transaction, right? Something was given, something was taken. For our first section, let's take a closer look at that exchange, the colors that were given and the darkness that was left behind. And when you break it down like this, you can really see just how lopsided it all was. On one side, the offering was everything, all colors, a whole heart's embrace. But what was left in return? It wasn't just an empty space, it was so much worse. It was an active, real pain, only darkness and countless scars. So the heart wasn't just emptied out, it was actually damaged. But the pain of a breakup, it's never just about what you've already lost, is it? It's also about losing the future you were so sure you had. And that brings us to our next big theme here, the sun that never rose, a promise that was broken right before the dawn. The poem makes it so clear that there was just so much hope here. A real, genuine belief in a future together, in a brand new day they were supposed to see side by side. You can almost feel that quiet, hopeful waiting, can't you? And then, bam, the gut punch. The line says, "But you left before the sun could rise." The absolute cruelty is in the timing. The leaving didn't just end things, it happened at the exact moment of greatest hope. It's like being left stranded in that pre-dawn twilight forever, just waiting for a sunrise that you now know is never, ever gonna come. And this is the real-world result of that broken promise. The poem shows us this isn't some abstract idea. It becomes a physical thing you can feel. Each night literally feels colder. That absence, it's a constant, chilling thing right there with you. So, faced with that cold reality, the speaker kind of retreats inward, This next part explores that really surreal, lonely world of living with the ghosts of a relationship long after the person themselves is gone. This line, man, it's just absolutely haunting. It says, I talk to empty memories as if they were people once. It just perfectly captures that profound loneliness where your only friends are ghosts, right? Where you start treating memories like they're still alive, like they still have weight. And all of this leads to this really powerful metaphor the poem uses. The speaker is trapped alone in the broken house of love. I mean, just think about that for a second. It's not just an empty house. The walls are literally crumbling around you. It's this image of being totally trapped, helpless, and completely alone in the ruins of what you built together. And even though this poem feels so personal, it brings up a question that, well, so many of us have had to face. How do you learn to live with the ghosts of your past? When the memories feel more real than your actual life, how on earth do you find a way to move forward? So the poem then kind of shifts, and it starts to explore the nature of the pain itself, and it suggests something really fascinating, that the deepest wounds, they're often the ones that are totally silent. It's about a kind of suffering that doesn't scream, which in a lot of ways is the hardest to get through. So what is that silent suffering? Well, it's not some big, dramatic, shouting kind of pain. Nope, it's a slow, quiet burn on the inside. It's the kind of grief that happens when you're all alone, with tears just falling without making a sound, completely invisible to everyone else. So how do you possibly survive something like that? The poem suggests it's not some heroic, overnight recovery. Not at all. It's a slow, painful process. First, the heart just burns in silence. Then, it cries without making a sound. And finally, so slowly you almost don't notice it, it learns how to live again. It learns how to keep beating, even after being shattered. And that brings us to the final and maybe most complex stage of this whole journey. This isn't about forgetting or, just getting over it. It's about a kind of acceptance that is somehow both beautiful and completely heartbreaking at the same time. After all of that pain, all that darkness, the poem takes this incredible, unexpected turn. The speaker's final thought is actually a selfless wish for the very person who caused all this suffering. It's just a moment of pure, profound grace, isn't it? To wish peace on the source of your own pain? And you might wonder, how is that even possible? Well, it's because the speaker acknowledges that the love itself, before it all fell apart, was beautiful. And that's the paradox, right? They can hold both things in their heart at the same time, the beauty of the memory and the agony of the loss. But, and this is the final, absolutely crucial point, that grace, that acceptance, it doesn't just erase the damage. The poem ends with this stark, unflinching truth. The wound might heal, sure, but that scar is permanent. It's going to last a lifetime. And so, the poem leaves us with this one final, lingering question to think about. What makes a beautiful memory worth the permanent scar? It's really a question about the true price of love and what we're willing to carry with us forever. Thanks for walking through this with me today.